Welcome to Discussions with DT Barker. I know I am definitely running a little bit behind today, only because I'm coming straight from work. So, yeah, and that's all this week. They will probably not be alive tomorrow. I have to do an interview. So, and I know I'm probably going to be scrambling trying to get back home to do this live. So, we won't do the live tomorrow, but we'll pick back up on Wednesday. So it's all good. And I know I'm behind for my folks. What up, Twitch? Twitch is active. What up, IG Live? YouTube, I know. I'm gonna do better. It's been a busy week, or a busy few days, I'll say. Big shout out. Hey, y'all guy. Big shout out to Mr. Cheeks. We had a good time. Last Thursday for his listening party for his new album, Devil's Gold. If you missed that, there'll be more events, so please stay tuned. But big shout out to Mr. Cheeks. Big shout out to Got You Open ENC, who pulled up to the event. What up, FA? Come on aboard. Who pulled up to the event. So appreciate you, Got You Open ENC, for pulling up on your girl. All right, let's get into it. Discussions with DD Parker. I mean, it has been, hey, Chev, it has been all over. I mean, the news. Nolan Wells, are you familiar with this story? 18-year-old went on a trip with his non-melanated friends, and yeah, body was found 2 days later. He came up missing, and body was found 2 days later. So my question today is, because this is not the first incident where someone black has traveled with non-melanated people and has come back unalived mysteriously. So the question today on Discussions with DD Parker is, should we be cautious? I don't even say cautious. Should we be mindful of when we're traveling with different races of folks? That's the question. Should we be mindful when we are traveling with different races of folks? Because like I said, this is not the first. I don't remember the story very well, but there was a lady, black lady. She went to a non-melanated sleepover, and then mysteriously was found unalived. Yeah, guys said absolutely, and was mysteriously found unalive. I think mom was telling me today there was another incident. Was it? I'm trying to think, where the boy was found hung, and they're trying to say he committed suicide. So what up, FA? Welcome
Yo,
to
yo, yo.
with DD Parker. The question today is: are you familiar with the Nolan Wells story?
Nah, I heard that this, the surface level stuff. He just died.
Right.
Right.
Mysteriously passed away. What up, Rashad? He mysteriously passed away. He went on a trip with some YT or non-melanated folks. It
Mm-hmm.
was just him. He was the only melanated person there. According to their story, they're saying, I guess he didn't want to get back on the boat, so they left him.
Where was he at? Left him where?
They left him they were on a trip on an island somewhere. So they left him.
On the island.
Yes.
Because he didn't want to get back on the boat.
That's according to their story.
Okay, got you.
So went missing. 2 days later, his body is washed up ashore. They found his body.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I see you. So folks are now saying, okay, what is going on here? Because the other people have now deleted their social media.
Yeah, of
One
course.
of the friends, mama, is a judge.
Mm.
You see where I'm going with this? So they're not answering any questions when it comes to this situation.
Right, right. Their legal counsel probably advised them not to, obviously.
But you're
Because
not,
I'm assuming they didn't get charged, right?
they haven't been charged with anything, and his death
Right.
has proved a suicide.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's what they
So,
do when they kill us.
Rashad, you probably know the story a little bit better than I do. Can you break the story down?
Yeah, bottom line, same old thing. I mean, black boy surrounded by white people that ends up missing. The end. That's all. I
Where's
mean,
the parent? Where's the parents?
that. So I mean, his parents are trying to get answers, but the
No,
parents,
where were they in?
He was with his friends on a trip.
yeah, they
Oh,
took a
okay.
trip. They took a
Oh,
trip together,
okay.
and so now everybody's lying, talking about um, they didn't know where he was when they left, and yet they get back home, and now everybody done lawyered up, and so now
Yeah.
everybody got lawyers, um, and all of the parents are, of course, lawyers, doctors, and judges, and all of this other shit, and
And what
so
are they father? What's the parent of the black boy? I'm sure their parents must be affluent as well.
not to the same degree.
Oh, we know what though. We know what they do.
I don't. It's so. Let me put it this way: it hasn't been reported
Reveal yeah.
of what it
What
is
they do.
that they
Okay.
do. But
So,
yeah,
Rashad, the question today is: should we be mindful when we're traveling with other
Mindful.
races? Yeah,
100%, a hundred
mind.
percent, 100%. We are the only people that don't come back. We the only people that don't come back.
Or not even mindful. I guess with our association, if you're the only black person in a group full of uh non-melanated people,
All right,
should you be going
all right.
or doing functions and you're the only melanated person?
So here's the deal. All right, and I say this, and I don't do it out of hate for anybody else. I do it out of love for our people. But we have such propensity for parents to try to put their kids in good school districts because that's what it's always about. I want to be in good areas, and they take their kids out. We talked about this before, Didi. They take their kids out to these areas that are full of people that don't care about them. And
Yeah.
then they end up getting in trouble and they run back to the black community. So
100%.
my issue is you shouldn't have ran away from us in the first place.
Okay.
And this is also another reason why I don't support interracial relationships. Everybody love who you love. They only say that when it's a black person involved.
Mm.
Yep.
They don't tell the Jewish people that. They don't tell the Chinese people that. They don't tell the Mexicans that. They don't tell the white people that. They don't tell nobody that but us. Love who you
We
love. I've never heard anybody else say that.
yeah.
Mm.
And so my thing is, here's something else. Strategically, we are at a huge disadvantage because it takes 3 generations in order to wipe out a particular race. And so now everybody is trying to integrate with the black folks. And so you have an interracial relationship. That baby go finds another interracial relationship. Their baby goes to find another relationship. And now there's no sign of blackness. You have wiped out the black. So do y'all know who Ronda Rousey is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ronda Rousey uh, is a product of at least 3 interracial relationships.
Mm.
Mm.
So her people were black.
Wow.
Oh, really? At
And that,
one point, huh?
yeah. And that's how
Mhm.
all of those interracial relationships end up. It'll start with one black person, and then it'll only be one black person for 3 generations.
Wow.
And then you're done. That is how you kill niggas.
And
It's funny though. We on the, I'll go ahead, Didi.
I just want to repeat because we got some new folks that just hopped on here. Welcome to the discussion, Parker. We're definitely talking about this Nolan Wells because now I'm posing the question with so many incidents happening like this because this is not the first one. Like I said, there was a woman who went to a sleepover with a bunch of YT
Yep.
women.
100%.
And she ended up unalived. Um,
Right.
Mama was just telling me about another situation about a young boy that they're trying to say committed suicide by hanging himself. And
Yeah.
y'all guys, we don't. That's not one of we don't hang ourselves. That's not our M.
Watch
Um,
this.
go ahead.
So y'all saw how they brushed over the story of the black chick that hung herself on June 18th.
I didn't see that story. Yes.
Exactly. The
Mm.
day before Juneteenth, she hung herself. She was coming from North Carolina to Miami.
Ooh, child.
She
Mm,
was on a trip and she hung herself. You didn't see it anywhere.
mm-mm.
Look, man, we think we are safe in our areas, but they are killing us and not apologizing for it.
And
And it,
putting and saying we're hanging ourselves. Fa, you wanted to respond?
Yeah, man. I my opinion was the same as his. I was gonna say the same thing. I blame That's why I was like, where was the parents? And not necessarily where the parents had on a trip, but this is the doing of parents. And I was gonna say the exact same thing. The excuse is that school system shit. And it's one of them things where, as much as I never want to see anything happen to black people, let alone, I mean, anybody, let alone black people, this is the outcome of when a lot of it is the black bourgeoisie. You know what I'm saying? It's self hatred masking this idea of like, oh, school and better, safer environments and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And partial, it's obviously on the surface level it can be true, but to me, under that, it really be they want to assimilate with the other cultures because they don't really like their own culture. You know what I'm saying? They want to go and be around, or they believe more in classism. You know what I mean? They want to be around more people that make the money that they make and so on and so forth. So it's the consequence of it, you know. It's the illusion of inclusion. You know what I mean? It's this idea and belief that, oh, if I make this amount of money, then we're all the same.
Yeah.
And then it's the consequence of it. I'm sitting there, I'm like one black kid and a bunch of white people. That means I mean the parents. He wanted to go out there and move them and go up around these people because he gonna make friends with who he makes friends with. He's only gonna make friends with the people that's around him.
So it looks like his mom is not black. Like she looks like she's Asian, and the
Oh
dad,
yeah, I'm not surprised.
yeah, and the dad was black.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
that
yeah,
goes back to my point with
Asian
these
mom part,
interracial relationships.
get him out of these neighborhoods. They want to get him away from black folk. And
uh,
in some instances, I don't blame them. But it's there are areas
okay.
where you can move where there's majority of, where there's still a strong black presence
Well, I mean, my
and
thing
it's
is,
safe.
it's just, I'm fine with diverse areas.
Go ahead, Rashad.
You good? I'm fine with diverse areas. My area is not all black, but it damn sure ain't all white. And
Hmm.
it's just when people are running from something when they go to those areas.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's trauma somewhere inside.
Self hate, yeah,
You,
for
you
sure.
well, and I mean, maybe it's self hate, right? But maybe
It's
it's
unconscious usually.
well, and let's look at it this way, right? Let's take Serena Williams, right?
Yeah,
Everybody was
another self
tripping.
hater.
Well, you can call her a self hater, but let's look at
Hmm.
how black people treated her. We did
Who
not respect. We didn't respect our culture. Didn't respect Serena Williams, bro.
We
They
did.
did. Hell no. Are you
I'm
crazy,
unaware. I'm
are
bro?
unaware.
yeah.
I
So,
didn't know.
so I'm not talking about the people
The one that
behind the
dated
scenes.
Drake? Or that Venus?
Yeah, no, that was
Oh,
Serena.
She did.
That was
oh.
Serena. Yeah, so she dated Drake. He fucked her and left her.
I
Dated
mean, she dated a bunch of rappers. I
well,
mean,
she dated some. Well, here's the thing. She's from Compton, so
right,
that's where she was comfortable. But they didn't
right.
treat her like she deserved to be treated. She's
No,
a
no, no, no,
fucking
no, no, no. She
bruh.
she picked. No, 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 no. The culture is not rappers and bad guys. Okay, just because you grow up in a certain area is that's not what makes up the entire culture. No, within the culture, there's always bad choices, and she picked bad choices. She
Okay,
picked bad choices.
okay. Well, let's look at it this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I don't think the choices that she picked were dudes that had 8 baby mamas. I don't think that these were
Oh,
dudes
she
that didn't
picked
have
rich niggas.
jobs. So
She picked rich people. Yeah,
the point that I'm making is that she picked people that reminded her of the area that she was from,
right.
and she tried to give her 100% to them. They
Oh, I don't know
all,
about that, but go ahead.
dude, there's nobody had anything negative to say about her
No,
regarding
no, I'm
how
not. Well, men tend not to.
about how she addressed relationships. But let's be
Okay.
honest, when the
Well, that,
dude
but we usually do that though. We know that though, Rashad.
do what?
Men tend never to speak negatively about, like, unless they started, unless the woman starts to really speak negative about them. A lot of times people keep it player, like, just like, oh no, she's a great woman. Da, da, da. That don't mean she was a great woman. Like, that's just kind of surface level respect talk. You
Well,
know what
but
I'm saying? And I
I
don't
would
like how
be.
you phrasing it like she gave 100%. You don't know if she gave 100%. You don't know if she
I'll
was
put it
even a
this
good
way.
woman. You know what I'm saying?
I'll put
But
it this
yeah.
way. I'll put it this way. So the the negative stuff that came about her, the main that I remember was she was dating a football player, and then
Mhm.
I think she broke up with him, and he just started telling everybody her pussy stank.
Oh wow.
And so
Okay.
then everybody just took it and ran with it, and that was it was just all
I
and
want. I didn't know nothing about her, by the way. I All this is new information. I didn't even hear anybody talk about her like in our community in a negative way until she started trying to look like a white woman. You know
well
what I'm saying?
so
That's the first time I even heard anybody say that. But I'm also not qualified because I don't know.
I
I
got you.
missed all this. You know what I
No,
mean?
I got you. But I mean, the way that I look at it, man, when it comes to what's happening behind closed doors, we don't ever know 100% what it is. All I know is that there's never anything that's just negatively been said about her. But I do know that she'd made bad choices. Turns out to be bad choices. I don't know if they, I don't know if they ended up um, if they started off that way or not. But all I know is that she tried several black men. She
She
tried
did.
several black men.
Right.
And every time she tried, it always ended. And normally, women are not the ones that stop it unless there's a reason to stop it. If women are happy, normally they remain in the relationship.
Right. But their happiness tends to be something that's not reasonable. But I'll
Well,
just
but
say this: the only reason why I don't give her a pass, in the consistency because I also don't give the men a pass. I've also heard a lot of men give testimonies, NFL players, NBA players, and they'll say I date white women because when I was growing up, none of the black women liked me. None of the black girls at my school liked me, and da 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 da. And the white women were the only women that gave me attention, and I didn't give them a pass, so I'm not going to give her one either. You pick bad men, you pick rappers and entertainers, and they, and expecting them to be wholesome and all that other stuff. It's like, okay, well, no, pick a better black guy, and you don't get. You just don't get to do that, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
at the end of the day, one of the reasons why, people
Hold on,
go
Rashad.
towards, okay,
We got some new folks. New folks, welcome. We are chatting about Nolan Wells, the situation going on with him. And the question today on discussions with Dee Dee Parker is your friend circle. Should you be mindful when you're traveling with other races? Or should you be in a situation where you're the only black person in that situation or at that event or at somebody's house? So that's the question today. Yeah, guys said the Wells family has been crumped, so the judge mother gave her professional recommendation to the other families.
Of
Um,
course.
and Mama said, I think black people move into these neighborhoods trying to make a better life. Mama said, I think she's talking about the mama because she said, I think she is black, just light skin. She looked Asian to me, but I could be wrong. Mama said they selling, killing our kids, and probably their family members were racist as well. And she said, I grew up in the South. We saw Klan riding around threatening black people by uncle. My uncle went to jail for having an affair with a YT woman, and she claimed rape when YT people found out. And Mama
Right.
said, is not new. They've been killing us in plain sight with no consequences, and are going to continue to do it too.
yeah, because
They
we
sure
don't do
are.
shit. We don't do a god,
No, I don't think it's about we don't do nothing. I think that
bruh. It's
we got
what
the
are we
wrong
doing?
mentality. No. When I mean that the doing nothing is not the front issue. The first issue is what you said earlier. the desire to marry outside your race in the first place. It's not going to be fixed because you got a lot of people that don't think like how you think. You know what I mean? They don't desire to marry within you. I see this whole, white men. I mean, black men have been dating white women for forever, but now I'm seeing this whole push and this crazy increase of black women dating white men. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's sickening because, and I'm actually shocked he's saying that. But I've always disagreed with um interracial dating if one of us when one of the people are black. I don't
Yeah,
really care about other races. So
yeah.
we do share that. We do share that, but that's to me the bigger issue when you have that being taught, like love is love. You see what I'm saying? You get all of these things, these little catchy sayings and stuff like that. And it's so funny, right? Because all of it applies. Even when you go to the LGBTQ community, when you go to interracial dating community, they all say the same thing. Love is love. Love who
Mm-hmm.
you want. Don't criticize. God made me this way. God didn't make you that way. Okay? You have a choice, and that's the choice that you decided to go with. Okay? Period. See what I'm saying? And it's what happens when you don't have black families, honestly. Because black families are usually teach and instill, just like Italians, East Asians, fucking Indians, Europeans, Africans, all of them, especially around here where I'm from. And you see
Yeah.
it, Ethiopia, the Ethiopians. Oh boy, you can cancel Christmas. You think you're gonna get one of them? I mean, you're gonna marry one of them? I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not going to happen,
you,
and it's
you
because
said you might
and
as
I
well
don't.
get Christmas.
And I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with
I
any
don't
culture
either.
wanting to marry within and promote their own culture. What father doesn't want their daughter to be with a man that looks and resembles who he is and has the same cultural views and so on and so forth? So I don't have an issue with it. I just think that, like Rashad said earlier, it's us. We think we want to love, and we can be with everybody. And that's why I just meant to say it got to start with that first, the mentality. It's the mentality that needs to be promoted. You know what I'm saying? More than us to do something about it. What we gonna do about it? Protest at this point? That black
They are
boy dead. He
protesting.
gone.
They are
He
protesting.
gone.
They are.
And even if they protest, it's not gonna change. He's still dead. And even if they, let's say somehow they convict all these white people, ain't nothing gonna change about. It's gonna
No.
be another black boy going to trip or another
So
place, and nothing is gonna change.
so here's the deal. The reason nothing changes is because these kids are not going to jail. That's why nothing changes. If you remember the story about the dude, the black boy that committed suicide in the high school gym
Yep.
by rolling himself up
Yep.
in a mat and stuffing himself behind the bleachers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Georgia.
Once again,
I
all of
read
his
that about
family, all of his family was tied to the sheriff's and the police department, and
Yep.
so they it was called a suicide, and they've just recently opened it back up, and this was probably 8 years ago. And
Yeah,
so
they
the
right,
are.
thing
but
about it is,
that's not dating. I'm talking about dating. I wasn't necessarily talking about white
n-
people doing things to black people.
no,
I
you
was talking
said they're
about
going to
dating.
keep killing us, and we're not going to do
In
anything.
these situations, when black people move away and want to embody themselves around a completely different culture, right?
Mm.
So when you're the only black people in this
Well,
neighborhood, you see
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like,
but the
stop moving over there.
yeah, but the
Because they're,
message, the last message that you were talking about, you were saying that they're going to keep getting away with killing us. That's what you were saying.
no,
Even
I
if we
wasn't
do,
saying
you
that.
said even if we do protest, they're going to keep killing people. That's what they're going to keep killing
No,
black. It's going
and
to be
I
another
was
black
saying,
boy.
right, and because we keep putting ourselves in these situations.
Well, no,
That's what I
agree.
was referring to. No, that's what I was referring to when I say it's going to keep happening because we're going to keep putting ourselves in these situations. Not that they won't continue to try to cover up stuff. Sure, I'm saying we're going to keep putting ourselves in these situations. You know what I mean? Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was saying because they are protesting Nolan
Really.
um because the circumstances behind it is just the story is not adding up.
they need to put
I ain't
these.
protesting nothing.
They need
I
to.
got an issue with you
That's
moving away and not wanting to be a part of the community, and then all of a sudden you want the community to be. You ain't think. I just know. Listen, I've been around these people, and this is gonna sound a little. I'm reaching. because I don't know them personally. But I know the mentality of the blacks that like to go and move away from all the other blacks. I know how they think, and I know I know what they think of us. See, when I say
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So when I say I'm sick of niggas, it means something different from when they say it. See what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
saying I'm sick of niggas, but I'm still saying I'm saying it from a place of like I want us to get better. You know what I mean? And I still live
Yeah.
in the community. My neighborhood is still 90% black, and my the school she go to is still 90% black. And you know what I mean? I'm in the culture. I got the legitimacy to say this because I'm here. When
Yeah.
they say it. Oh no, it's a completely different. I'm sick of it, and I don't want to be have nothing to do with them. You lock them all up, get rid of all of them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like so now when you went out there, put yourself in that in that environment, and this now happens. I
You
just
know,
don't have that much empathy, dog. I don't. I wish, I
here's
just
my
don't.
thing. Like I said, I started this off by saying how I don't like that type of behavior, and I do
Yeah,
not. But the one thing that I hate worse than that is the fact that we continue to point the finger at the victim as opposed to the perpetrator, right?
mm,
We always let these
yeah.
white folks off. We let them off every time because we go back to arguing about what we're doing. I get that. But in the way that I look at it, we can do both.
No,
We
we
can
can.
still hold our people accountable, but at the end of the day, we got to do better about getting these individuals that are hanging our kids, that are killing our
We
babies,
can
that
100% do both.
look, and that's the only point that
Yeah,
I'm making.
we
I'm
can
not letting
100% do
nobody.
both.
I'm not letting nobody off the
I
hook.
just want them to stop. I just believe certain things go in order. And the first thing is stop going out there. That's first. When they start killing us in our own neighborhoods, then we can just like eliminate this completely. See what I'm saying? Like we can still argue both. I don't want this black boy. I don't want none of them. I don't want nobody to get away with killing no black boy no matter his circumstance, because the black boy is innocent in this case. His parents moved him wherever he lives. You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
He going to make friends around the environment that he's around. All he can do is make friends with his classmates, so his
yeah.
people in his neighborhood or whatever. So the black boy is innocent. It's not.
and
That's what you heard me earlier. I kept focused on the
he
parents.
he was 18.
Yeah, man, and he wanted to stay on the island. Come on, y'all. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes they act weird, but I'm listen.
Said he
It's
left,
clearly it's not adding up. This is fishy.
and the father
Definitely.
said he left because he didn't want to force him to get on the boat. And my mom was like, in our community, you don't leave nobody. You
You don't
we
leave.
Yeah, you force them on the
leave.
boat.
You
Yes.
don't
Yeah,
leave nobody
even
behind.
what you mean you don't want to get your boat? If you don't get your ass on this boat right now,
Exact. Great. Exactly. That's a great
but
point, DD.
but their community doesn't think like we think.
No, no, that's not true.
Do
They
they
do.
think they have
They
that
don't leave you.
mentality? Don't leave
They'll
nobody
do it for
They
behind.
don't leave each
theirs.
other behind.
They'll do it for theirs. They'll do it for theirs. They
Amen.
not. And this is where it gets a little tricky when you start blurring racial lines because you have some white folks that are afraid of potential backlash of any negative interactions
Yeah,
with black people.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So they're gonna be like, oh, let them do what they want to
That
do.
smoke.
You see what I'm saying? Leave
Yeah,
them alone. And then you got some that's like, fuck them. Because what I think is they probably was on some type of drugs, or they probably was drunk, or they probably was on some,
was
I
drunk.
don't know,
Yeah, they
some mushrooms or something, whatever, something like that. They be getting high, whatever the case may be. And for them, you're in a what country? What was they in? Where were they at?
they were in a country. I think they were. What was this happened in
This happened in
Mississippi?
America,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and there's no cameras.
At what?
They left him on an island that has no cameras.
So, I'm trying to read the full story. Because I don't. I know he's from Mississippi. So it was
Mm,
who didn't
mm.
return from an independence trip to
He from
Horn,
Mississippi.
Horn
Oh,
Island off the coast of Mississippi.
ain't no
So
way in
they
hell.
on an Independence Day trip to Horn Island, and it's off the coast of Mississippi. He's 18,
Wow.
and this is a friend group, and he was the only uh, black young man in this friends group. The
So they
rest of
did all of this lying about they ain't seen him here and they ain't seen him
yeah,
there. And it's camera phones to your point. It's camera phones that's putting him in certain places at times, which is
Mm.
which is,
Conflicting with their statements.
contrary to what it is that they've been saying.
Mm.
They said
Yeah,
he was
Mm.
talking to some girl.
yeah. And it was
And
And they
only one friend.
already
go ahead.
and they already listed it as suicide.
They listed it a
That
suicide.
we the only ones that they
Hey, Tasha.
still don't, no investigation, no nothing.
And I can promise you that if it was the other way around. It would. I can
Oh
promise
yeah,
you, if it was five black people and one white woman missing, it wouldn't have went that way.
Yeah,
yeah.
And they didn't
Uh,
do anything. They didn't call anybody. They didn't say, "Hey, we left so and so on the island because he was tripping. He wouldn't." Because there may be some circumstances, but at the end of the day, the first thing I would have did was call somebody like, "Hey, Johnny, or what the boy name? What's the
uh,
boy name?
Nolan. Nolan.
Man,
Yeah.
Nolan tripping. We left him on the island because he wouldn't get on the boat. He on the island. If you want to go get him, you can go get him. We tried everything we could. He wouldn't get on the boat. We left him on the island. That's some
So
stuff what
I'm
you would have said at the minimum.
I'm gonna give you the details because this is a car according to NPR. So the details of what might have happened are coming from social media. A video reportedly showing an argument that took place on the island. A mom of one of Wells' friends said Wells chose to stay on the island when his friends left. Wells being left behind is one thing, catching attention online, as well as the questions about whether that argument involved Wells and if it was a racial element to that argument.
I think it's
here's the
kind of
deal.
hard for me to believe that it's a racial thing. Dang, lights just went out in this joint. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah. If you niggas paid your bills, that wouldn't happen.
Nah, I'm in the break
He
room
had
at
work in
work.
the break room.
So, no, I got the
You don't
motion
think
joint.
it's racial?
No, I just think it's convenient that it's racial. I think it's a little convenient to say it's racial when, and I'm making some assumptions. If these are his friends, I'm assuming they didn't meet a month ago, right? They must have been friends for a while, right? If they've been friends for a while, I think it's reasonable that they all may have been to each other's homes, did all these different things, and hung out with each other. Why is it all of a sudden now racial? They've been hanging out for years.
Mm.
You see
And
what I'm saying?
you're right.
No,
Go ahead, Rashad.
no. I mean, you got to think about it.
I'm gonna read y'all comments. I'm sorry, y'all.
Just because
Is
they've
the
been
black
hanging
boy
out,
too stupid to know that these people don't like him?
yes, 100%. Because you got to think
Oh,
about it.
bro.
He hasn't
Hey,
grown up. He hasn't grown up in an environment where
yeah,
he's got game.
Mississippi.
No, 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 no. Understand one thing, because that was the point that I was going to make. With him being in Mississippi and being around white people, then I know his head is fucked up because all of those microaggressions he's been growing up accepting.
Yeah.
They probably make jokes about him, and then
Yeah,
laugh at
we don't know that though, but I got you.
but
I
yeah,
get
but
it
I
though.
mean,
No,
but
the
still,
personality you're describing exists. Yeah, I get what you're
right.
saying.
And so I would put my money on that before I would say that he started off in a black environment. Because if he started off in a black environment, he would know. He would know, especially in Mississippi, he would know the
He got a
history
black
behind it.
daddy though, right?
Having a black daddy don't mean that he grew up in a black environment. His
Yeah.
black daddy,
No, you got a black daddy that probably was teaching them stuff.
here's the
No,
thing.
because if he
That's
No,
not
no, bro.
so you
No.
don't think that hold on. So it's more reasonable to believe that what you described, you growing up around white folks and not being able to recognize certain microaggressions and so on and so forth because that's all he know. I get what you're saying, but if I think it's more reasonable to believe that his father probably didn't grow up in that environment. He
Hmm.
probably moved to this environment because he got some more money, and
Hmm.
he is very well experienced on how to say, "Hey, listen, you got to be careful about some of these people and woody woo." And
Hmm.
y'all don't think that's reasonable to believe.
not
I'm sorry, y'all don't think
not
that's
not if he
more
associates
likely to
with
believe.
not if
I
he
think,
associates with the other race. Remember them bougie people you talked about who move out
well,
of who they are?
but that's
So,
true.
One of
so
them.
I'll,
Yeah, that's
I'll, I'll,
true. That's
so I'll
true.
put it this way. I won't get too specific, but my wife and I, we have uh, a really close couple that is a black woman and a white man,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a conversation this weekend, and she was talking about how her daughter is not associating she doesn't understand the plight of the African American in America. And everything
Yeah,
she says is, why do they have to march? Why do they have to this? Why do they have to that? If you do not present this information to your children, they will not get it by osmosis. She grew up in a different area where she understood it.
in
And
a
then,
different reality.
yeah. And so we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
talking. She was just like, man, I feel so bad that I didn't, that I haven't started educating her on this. And some
Yeah,
parents never do, which is why I don't like that interracial relationship because they're
I
running
agree.
from it. They think they're protecting their kids by hiding that history, which is what white people do. That's why they're getting rid of all of the stuff in the books and all of these other things, because if your kids don't know how evil you and your ancestors were, then they won't feel bad when black people come try to, start getting reparations. And then they'll be like, what do you need reparations for?
I agree. I agree with that.
And
I
I
agree
so
with
that was
mom.
the
I
point that
agree
I
with
was
true
making,
mom
that
too.
it was a possibility that, hey, he grew up in a more affluent part of Mississippi and never had access to what the
Definitely,
majority of
definitely,
black people
which is
experience.
why he trusted
definitely,
them
definitely a
enough to go to
possibility. I agree with
the
that.
yeah. New folks, welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We're talking about Nolan West. Mama said, look at OJ. He wanted nothing to do with black people until his ass was on trial. Facts. Mama said, look at the black boy who got killed by his YT girlfriend and she got away with it. Yep. And Mama said, no one left behind. Why did they leave him on the island with no phone either? Um,
They
don't
took his phone.
Right. Another suspicious activity. Don't know if it's true. They said no water was found in his lungs and he had no bruises. And she said, right, call his parents. Childhood friends who said he went with another group of friends, supposedly. And she said his father probably was an Uncle T. Now, you're right, FA, because I was
What's the
going,
female version of that?
huh?
What's the female version of Uncle Tom?
There is none.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good,
okay.
good
Because I was
question.
about to say, wouldn't your neighbor be that? But go ahead. I don't want her to be on the live. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Good question. But I was saying, I went to a predominantly white high school, had white friends. Uh
Really?
yeah, knew immediately that my white best friend's family was racist and they were Italian. She was the one that told me, but I could see it in certain actions. And you know what my black ass did? I stopped going over there as much because
There you go.
yeah, I don't know what you people capable of doing to me. And I was in high school and I knew better. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's, I get what um my man is saying now. Like, I get what you're saying. That is definitely a possibility. I agree with all factors. I just agree with all factors. I just am kind of looking at it from the perspective of most black men kind of know, but there are those black men that are like, red. I mean, what do you call it? The
How,
typical conservative Republican. All of it, race doesn't matter, and we don't need. They like to use words like handouts, like So I know those exist as well, and he might have had a father like that. So
or his
yeah,
father
don't
was
call it racial though. That's all I'm saying. That's why I said don't call it racial now. Remember, we all American. Ain't that what they like to say?
Well, and that's the hard part about it. It's like, it's their fault, but it's still
Mhm.
a larger issue which we have to
Mhm.
address,
I
right?
agree.
And it's two issues. The issue is that you shouldn't have ran over there. And the second
Yeah.
issue is that whether you ran over there or not, y'all
It
shouldn't
shouldn't
be
happen.
killing us.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. But we don't, that's it. But this is the thing. We all kind of speculating a little bit because we don't know if they killed that boy. We don't even know what's the cause of death. We
pregnant.
don't know. 'Cause I want to be clear. Leaving someone on the island doesn't equal death,
He was found
right?
dead.
Listen to me. Leaving someone on the island doesn't mean equal death. Leaving
Okay.
someone on the island is leaving someone there.
Okay. All right.
That's
So
all
this,
that is. That don't
okay.
mean death has to
Okay.
occur.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You're 100% right. We were not there. So
Mm,
how do we come to this conclusion? What are the actions that occur
mm.
after?
The
What do
leaving.
they do after? Right?
Agreed.
You get back home, you have everybody lawyers up,
Yeah.
everybody deleted their social media accounts.
Right. Which makes sense. See, all those
And
two things make sense to me.
So
Like
it makes
that's what you're supposed to do.
that you're
What?
No,
just
I'm
supposed
saying
to do if
Why?
what?
when you have money, right, and you're potentially something negative has happened, you're supposed to get a lawyer just in case. So you won't go out there and self-incriminate yourself or even if you didn't do anything wrong, you can say things that can open up investigations and all that type of stuff. That's why your lawyer always advises you not to say nothing.
One
Because
hundred
even if
percent.
you're innocent, you don't say
Mm-hmm.
nothing because you can say stuff that can open up stuff. So
Yeah.
getting lawyers and then getting off of social media is typical too, especially if this is going to be a hot topic type of national news, CNN, and all over the stuff. You don't want these because they're young children. I'm assuming or young adults. They're gonna be advised. Hey, you probably should get off the internet too because you're gonna get a lot of hate messages and all kind of
So
different stuff, right?
uh,
Threats, all kind of stuff. So that's just typical stuff. The celebrities do it all the time. Celebrities get accused of stuff. That's what they do. They shut down all their social medias. They lower up. They don't give statements. You know what I mean? That's just
so
typical. And we're talking about a white guy, four white people, and a black person died. Of course they're going to do that. You know what I mean? It would be how about this? It would be the same way on the other way around. If you got four rich black folk that like come from affluent families and stuff like that, and a white boy went dead, they would tell him, "Hey, lawyer up and get off the internet." That's just normal
they would say
protocol.
stay off of it. They wouldn't tell them to delete it. When you
Yeah, I
delete it,
would. Yeah, they
there
would.
means
No, they would deactivate it.
when you delete it, there is a concern that there is something there that is self-incriminating, right? It can't be
I
self-incriminated
don't
if you
believe
didn't
that. Believe
do it.
that.
Oh man, all you the reason to your point, you said stay off the internet because people are going to be doing death threats and all this other stuff and all this blah blah blah. Here's
Right,
the thing:
right.
you can stop logging in and never even get exposed to any of that.
You
You
can
don't have to
deactivate
delete
your
your account.
page. You can
Well,
deactivate your page. That
so
don't mean delete. Because
Because
deactivate your page just means you're not
that's not.
accessible anymore.
yeah,
It
deactivating. I
happens.
can
That
give you that.
happens.
I
That's
can get you that.
normal.
I can get you that. Deactivating. Okay. Yes, not deleting, deactivating. There's a possibility that the accounts are deactivated. There is that possibility.
Just
Okay. Fair
because,
enough.
No, that's legally that's what you're supposed that's the smart thing to do.
but to
Whether
It's
me,
you're this is not
you did.
about innocent or guilt.
If you did nothing wrong, why are you doing all that?
well, everybody
Because
doesn't
that's
delete
not
their
the
accounts. Everybody don't delete their
no,
accounts.
everybody
There's
does.
some
Well,
people that
listen, the
do.
severity of
And
the
I can see
severity of this situation and the potential backlash, like the uprising of like
So
the potential severity of like
did
how big this could get. This could get all the way up. This
it.
could be as huge as George Floyd,
So is
okay.
possibly.
this?
So here's the deal. So did Puff delete his account
Who
or
I don't know.
deactivate it? No, he didn't.
Yeah,
And so
Puff's
that
a billionaire, so it's a
well,
little bit different.
no, it's not. To the point that you made, it's that would be the wise thing to
No, it's
do. And the
not.
more money you have,
Puff did not. For one, nobody died. Okay, let's start with that. No one died. Okay, which is massively different. Okay, death is very different from him buying escorts and him not knowing that he would go to jail
well, he
for
was up for a
essentially
RICO.
buying
He
escorts.
was up for a RICO case,
And
and
they,
so
and
that
they
was a different thing.
right, and that was right, and that was a stretch in itself.
Well,
You know
it
what I'm
was, but that
saying?
was still the once again. I mean, we're talking about what he was charged with, not what they eventually convicted him of. So,
Right.
I mean, in a RICO case, in his in his position, is probably just as serious as a murder case as the
Potentially,
18-year-old boy.
potentially, but you're not getting hate from the public so
Of
much.
course, he's getting hate from the public. Are you
No,
crazy?
so much, so much. What I'm
He's a
saying is,
he's a
it's a
he's a
difference.
Yeah, he got a
He
lot of hate.
ain't
Got a lot of
I didn't
flack.
say he didn't get hate. He go celebrities get hate without doing anything. That's
well.
Especially
normal.
when
What
that
I'm saying,
Cassie video leaked, baby. I know his DMs was lit the fuck up.
yeah, but okay, yeah, but that was settled, and he never had to deal with any
Yeah, but
criminal
we just saw it, so
aspects from that.
we didn't know what
Yeah,
had happened. But I'm
No, but
saying
he's not going to jail for that,
we're
though. He's
talking
not
about the
going to
court of
jail
public
for that.
opinion right now.
it's just
And I'm not. I'm not
You
saying you'll
are.
deact. No, I'm not. Listen, Jesus. Public opinion and going to jail is not the same thing. Him dealing with the backlash of his actions from the public without the consequence of going to jail is not the same thing as him being potentially charged with something that he can go to jail for. That's not the
I
same thing.
you're saying.
Okay, I'm taking the point that you were making about the kids deleting their or
Deactivating.
deactivating their pages.
Yeah,
The
probably. Yeah.
rationale that you mentioned was you're going to have people, putting hate mail and stuff
A
into the
long list of
air.
things.
Well,
Yeah.
but
Hate
once again,
mail.
and so that's the court of public opinion. That's not
Right.
incriminating, right? And
And
so
no,
I
no,
was only talking.
and also that was just one example. And also
That's all.
dealing with the mental state of an 18-year-old, like
Okay.
dealing with all of that, potential hatred and all. Like you got to deal with his psyche too. Like you got young children that already been they cyber bullying and all that type of stuff. They already can't handle the shit anyway. So you want to try to
Man,
protect your
these are the
child from that.
bullies. These are the bullies. I assure you that they
See, you
they
already viewing them as guilty.
right.
See, your opinion is coming from the perspective of guilty.
Once
My opinion
again,
is coming from the perspective is I don't know. I
yeah.
just don't know.
Look, I am
And
I am doing an assessment, and I'm looking at probabilities. Right.
yeah,
I'm
that,
not saying
I agree with
hundred
that.
percent. I'm saying more than likely they're probably not getting
And
bullied.
I think that's fair. I don't have an issue. I actually don't have an issue with you saying, man, based on the history and based on some of the facts that I already know, it's reasonable to believe that these people may have done some things that they're lying about. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I was just saying, though, I'm not, my opinion is kind of just coming strictly from a neutral perspective,
You're
completely.
not
Fair
you're
enough.
not saying they're guilty. You're not saying they're innocent. You need more facts.
I need more information. I don't know enough.
I got you. New folks, welcome to Discussions with Didi Parker. We're talking about Nolan West. Mama said he had bruises, and she said Clarence Thomas. Oh, tell it on the mountain ass. Good example, Mama. Um, baby, go tell it on the mountain. Mama said it's the people who did him harm's fault. They say he drowned and was an excellent swimmer. Why wouldn't he just wait for someone to come back and get him? Why would he commit suicide? Not adding up. And Mama said they would already be locked up if they was black and he was white.
100%. Yeah.
And Mama said they said everything was deleted off his phone for that day. It's a lot to this story, FA. The
Oh,
stuff
yeah. That's suspicious. How did all his stuff get deleted off his phone?
and why?
And guess what? And this is why I know this shit don't be true because there's no such thing as deletion.
That's a
Okay,
hundred percent. All I got to do
yeah,
is
and
go
those
back to
things,
the
right?
phone company.
That's it. They can get you can't anything you text can never be deleted. Do you know that?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as deletion. They can get everything. So that's why I'm like, that's to me propaganda when they be like, and they deleted. Well, okay, well, where's the stuff that he had on there? Because they would have been able to, obtain that.
Well, I mean, but you got to remember this still happens, so it's an open investigation, and
It's
so
early on
that's probably something that the
and
investigators
come
are
out
going to
later.
have to
But they're
tag
not.
into.
Yeah,
But they said they ruled it already a
they're
Oh
suicide.
no, they definitely ruled it a suicide. The
yeah,
parents had to get it reopened.
yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. I
So
got
yeah,
you. Yeah,
they're
that makes
saying that
sense.
it's being investigated as a death, not a homicide, according to NPR. So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I hate to hear these stories. And FA, you feel why it's not a racial aspect to it?
No, I don't. No, I think there's a racial aspect to it. I'm saying that I don't think that people they get to say it's a racial aspect to it now when they done fucking moved out there to live out there and they've been friends with these
Okay.
people for all
Yeah.
this time. You don't get to now say it's a racial implication. These people been your friends. Was they racist last week when you was hanging out with them?
100%.
Right.
That's why I say you don't get to be able to say that. I have my personal views on it. You know what I'm saying? But they can't say it. You know what I mean? They can't say it like the one that's been hanging out with them can't say it.
Yeah,
But
they were the enablers.
this seems
Hmm.
like again, because this is not the first incident where a black man or woman has went into these other groups and then came up unalive. I gave you an
Yeah.
example of a woman. She was at a whole adult sleepover. This was a grown ass woman.
Yeah, they were in
Hmm.
Mexico.
Yeah,
She
and
never came back, and
they never
nobody ever got
back,
arrested.
and none of them were ever charged. And then,
That's it.
Mama, you were telling me about, and you know the story, Rashad, about the I don't know where the story came from, but another southern state where a boy they're trying to say committed suicide by hanging himself.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was it. Was one of them rural countries.
Yeah,
I mean, them rural country areas, and the history of mental illness and all this other stuff. I don't know what's going to make somebody crazy enough to climb up in a tree and put a rope around their neck.
but you know
That's
the
just
is I saw a report, and I believe it was during Men's Mental Awareness Month. Uh,
hmm
Suicide rate for Black men going up.
it's the highest, 100%. I don't doubt that, but we ain't hanging ourselves.
Okay, but
That
why do
ain't.
you think why do you think it's so high amongst the Black men?
Oh well, that's very easy because
Let
the
me correct that
expectation.
stat. The
These
high is not amongst heterosexuals. This is not amongst heterosexual black men. The suicide rate is high in the black community and the LBGTQ community, not the heterosexual.
Okay,
uh
So they just list us all together because they just saying black men in general, but it's not black heterosexual men.
wait, Rashad, wait.
No, I was
Oh,
gonna try to. I can't pull that up. Oh yeah, I can.
yes, you can Google it. Cause
Well, no, I was gonna do it on my phone, but I can't do it on my phone.
oh,
So um,
cause how do you know that to be a fact? After where you saw that at?
Oh,
You are
okay.
muted. Mama said they said everything was deleted. Okay, I read that. Well, the parents said that before all the other stuff came out. Efe, where'd you? How do you know that information?
Well, I'm a little educated on the LBGT community and the LB. I remember seeing the stat. Yeah, yeah. I mean, my job
okay,
forced us. It's a lot of different reasons why.
He
I
said, "I."
remember when it first came out, you know what I mean, with the LBGT, when Obama was in there and they kind of forced us to learn about
the Q.
just all of it. You know what I mean? And I was the one that educated my friends on it, like what all these letters mean and all this type of stuff. But the point is, no, one of the LBGT community lists the distinction because they were when they were advocating for like special provisions and stuff like that. A lot of times that they would explain, oh, they make up 90% of the black suicide. Like 90% of the black males that commit suicide are part of the LGBTQ community, and that would be one of their speaking points when they try to say they're not safe. Like
Okay,
black people, the LGBT community, blacks are not safe, and they da 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 da, and we make up the majority of the suiciders, and so on and so forth. So it's not heterosexual men that are committing suicide, black men that are committing suicide at a high rate. No, not at all.
okay. I was just trying to see because we have these deaths now and people being
Mhm.
alive. Are they
Right.
equating putting that into that category with suicides? Because they're
Oh,
trying.
when they say black men, they just put them all together. They don't care about your sexual preference. If a
Okay,
black person commits suicide, you'll just be added to the list. They won't know if you heterosexual or not. Now the LGBT community got got even did a deeper dive to specify if these people were members of the community or not. You see what I mean?
yeah. Mama said black man was found in the woods recently. Why would a black man hang himself? And Mama said Fa hat. And Mama said Fa dislikes them because they like women. I'm just saying, Mama.
I don't dislike people. I dislike behaviors. You know what I'm saying? But I don't dislike people. You know what I'm saying? No, not at all.
Did you look it up,
At all.
Rashad?
No, it's too many articles on here, and
I
I'm not
bet.
gonna I'm not
Me.
gonna do too much of this on my this
All
particular
right.
lifetime.
Let's do some final thoughts, y'all. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I was gonna go first. I pretty much agree with Rashad on this one. I think not agree. I already kind of had those views. I think I share the same opinion as far as kind of moving away from the community. And to me, it's a sensible aspect. This is like almost expected. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, it's no surprise in this. You know what I mean? And when we have these people that want to move away, and to me, put themselves in these situations, you know what I mean? It's just unfortunate. So uh, maybe we should start staying within ourselves, trying to improve ourselves, and maybe this will lower. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is kind of where I start to lean towards these conservative speaking points, where it's like it does get a little weird to me now, where we have so much outrage now and concern when these white folks do this stuff to us. That although we kind of put ourselves in the situation, but yet we do kind of are like not as outraged when we are killing ourselves as much as we do. And I used to be like not I used to be against that way of thinking a lot, but the older I get, I do notice that we do put a lot of emphasis on when the other races do kill us. Like at a like crazy. Like it's like national news. It's like the end of the world. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be because it I'm not saying that it shouldn't be. I just also am noticing how we also don't clean up our back. We're not as equally outraged with our own shit. That's all.
So, in that regard, one of the reasons why I believe that there's more outrage going outward than inward,
Hmm.
because you have a good amount of our resources that are trying to clean up our own streets. People act like we are not out here trying to stop violence in our community. There are too many organizations out here that are, they allow us to talking to somebody right now that's trying to get me to go do a gun violence rally, right? And so we have the outrage, but at the end of the day, we're working, right? We're trying to fix that. It's already been addressed. We've been trying to get with the young boys because we got mentoring groups, and shit, I'm a part of two or three mentoring groups out here. And so the
Right.
reason why we get so outraged outward, we can't do anything about that. We're trying our stuff, but they pretend that we're not. And they say, why don't you, what about black on black crime? Shit, what about it? I've been fighting it for 30 years and I'm going to keep
Hmm.
fighting it for 30 more. But I can tell you
Hmm.
one thing, nobody is fighting against them fucking police that will go and kill somebody and lie about it and then get away with it.
Hmm.
That's the issue that nobody is addressing. We are addressing our shit. We are. But nobody is
I
addressing
think they're
police
addressing
violence.
it.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Just because it's not happening on a larger scale, we got a lot of
Right.
things that we're trying to take care of. So you got
Right.
some people that are addressing mentorship, some people that are addressing homelessness, some people that are addressing teenage pregnancy, some people that are, look, we got a lot of shit that we got to deal with. So
Nah,
the issue,
man, we really fucked up. I
we
got
really,
you.
100%. So for them people that
Yeah.
be like, you ain't doing nothing in your hood, nigga, yes, we are. And we've been doing it.
Hmm.
How come you ain't out here helping us? Because we asking your ass for resources. Yeah,
Hmm.
we need more funds so we can get some more kids. But no, you're giving it to the fucking police every time they kill another black person. You donate more money to the police department. Is that where the money's really needed?
Oh, I'm a
Oh,
little
that's
50-50
happening.
on that one.
That's
No, I'm
happening.
just saying. So you donate money to the people to prevent black people from killing each other, but you don't want to give money to the police that's also preventing black people from killing each other.
Well,
That
let's
sounds a little
understand,
weird.
but
You
let's
know
look
what
at
I'm
it.
saying?
The police already have the funding that they need. The money ain't the issue. They need training. They're
Yeah.
not training
Okay.
these police. They
Okay.
have
I can
zero
see that.
sensitivity training to our communities. We've
No, well, that's
also,
not necessarily true, but yeah, I get the point though. You're right overall.
when I say zero, I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
I know. That's not. Don't allow me to. I get it. I was wrong. Good.
right. It's so small there might as well not be any. Bottom
Right,
line.
right, right. Fair enough.
And so when people continue to put it back on the black community, we out here working. Nobody works harder in their communities than us. No one.
That's
And
what
I'm
you got
damn
because
on
you got so much shit to clean up.
we one
Nobody got
hundred
to work as
percent.
hard.
That's
Nobody.
that's
You know
so
what I mean?
the message that I'm saying is that we can't listen and allow their narratives to
Yeah.
occupy our minds.
Yes.
because they don't know what we're out here doing. They have no idea. They don't come to these areas. They just talk. They just talk. What about black on black crime? They've been they just use sound bites. That's all
Yeah,
they
yeah, I agree
say.
with that.
And so
I
when I
agree.
hear people that look like me start saying the same shit, I'm just like, slow down.
Ooh,
No,
yeah.
you know we out here trying. Now, whether we're effective
I
or not
think
is
they
a different
fed
thing.
right. I think that's where it gets a little shaky because the black people fed up with black people too. And they get to a point, they get to that point too, and they may resemble some of the same conservative white racist speaking points, even though they may shouldn't say these things. But
Sure,
they're bad choice of words. I agree,
sure.
but it is also the same level of I think the same level, but they get fed up too. They tired of niggas too. Trust
But watch this. But watch
me.
this though. If you ask them same people that's tired of niggas, how much have they donated to the causes that are trying to fix the shit that they tired of?
Yeah.
A very large portion is going to say they don't donate anything.
And a lot of them will say that's not my responsibility. That
But
is they
okay. So
raise
here's
your
the thing.
kids, and I don't have
But
to pay for you to raise
but
your children
once
correctly.
again,
Stop telling baby
if
mothers to
we
have
want a
kids without
solution,
fathers.
dude, those are here's the thing. We got people in these streets that are trying. I'm not
Of
asking
course,
everyone to get out into the streets. What I am saying is identify the good work that the good people are attempting to do. Because if we
yeah.
had more people that were boosting up the folks that are willing to do the hard work, then the resolution that we all are seeking would be realized. And that's
You
just the
know what it
bottom
is?
line.
I think as the older I'm getting, the more and more I don't believe in mentor and programs. Maybe mentorship, but
Okay.
not these. A lot of these programs, I believe they're effective. They're not effective in any way. I think a lot of times they Ponzi, like they just money grabs or whatever the
Okay.
case may be.
Fair
Because
enough.
I don't. Now mentorship, I do agree with. You know
Okay.
what I mean, 100%. But a lot of this other stuff, and I'll be like, niggas be trying to get it done. I don't see any numbers. I know our murder rate still high. I mean, it's been around for forever. Tupac told me in the 90s, y'all know charity don't get back to the hood. Charity
Well,
don't
But
get to
I
the
feel
hood.
like
This ain't
that's
new.
such I feel like that's such a cop out when we say that
yeah.
to let them off of the hook. When we say, "Oh, well, we got it going on in our community." So the fuck do they? You don't think these white folks
No,
ain't
no,
out
no.
here killing white mothers?
I agree. I want to make this clear. My response was not a response and justification of them doing it to us. I agree with Rashad when he said, "Well, we address both at the same time?" 100%. I am not saying white people that kill black people. It's okay because black people kill black people. I'm not in no
Okay.
way, shape saying that at all. You feel what I'm saying? At all. No, no, no. Both are wrong. I just said I noticed that our outrage is stronger when they do it opposed to when
Of
we
course
do
it's
it.
gonna
That's
be.
just all.
Of course. You know how long they've been
Right.
killing?
I think we've been doing a better job at this than they have.
Well,
But do you
no.
know how long they've been killing us?
To her
No, no, no,
point,
no. I ain't talking about. I'm talking about post Jim Crow. Post Jim Crow,
So
I think they do a better job at. I think we do a really. I think we're doing a superb job compared to them at
they've
killing
been
us.
killing us though. They've been killing us. This black on black stuff is a problem that I don't know. Maybe Tupac era started happening when these gangs
Yeah,
and stuff started
eighty.
popping up.
Yeah,
They've been killing us. So that's why that outrage is loud. That's why I be mad.
I agree, but not at this rate though. But I got you though. Yes,
No,
they
that's
killing us, but
why I
not
be
at this rate.
they've
Every
been
black major, every major black city got 300 plus homicides
here's
a
the deal,
year.
man. Everybody that you're in closest proximity to are going to kill in that area.
Not at this rate though.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. This rate,
300 is a lot.
this
500 is a
rate
lot.
is because we have been proportionately pushed into areas of congestion more so than anybody else. White people in trailer homes have more space,
he ain't
but
lying.
black people in the what you call them shits it ain't the bodegas, what you call them, high rises.
Projects. Projects.
Well, if they fucking projects, that
That's
shit
what they call it. Yeah.
that shit
The
is
high
shit on top of
rises.
shit. That shit is shit on top of shit. And let's be honest, as much as I grew up in those areas, Hefe, as much as you've grown up in them, Didi, as much as you've
Mm.
grown up in them, we ain't stepping foot back in that shit no more.
Oh
Because we
no,
already
no, no.
because we already know there's danger lurking around because of the fact that it's survival of the fittest. And so we
I ain't gonna lie.
consider
Trust
I
me,
get it. I
as
just think
last
the
week.
environment is not as the environment is not as influential as the lack of parenting. That's just my belief. It
it's all
definitely
together,
has
man.
a.
It's all together.
Nah, I don't know.
It
To me,
is
it's
all
not.
together
I
because
don't
of
think
the
it's not.
environment. The environment influences the single parent homes. The environment influences that. Yes.
No, the culture does. Our culture shift does.
Well,
The
let's
culture
put it this
shift
way. Let's put it
does.
this way. It's not the entire culture. It's the culture of the lower affluent
Yeah, yeah,
individuals which
yeah,
are
yeah.
normally in those environments. We can't say the
Yeah.
culture because me and you, we are part of the culture.
No, I'm saying the culture shift. I'm not part of that culture. I was talking
But
about the shift.
okay, but that's
Yeah, yeah, the shift. No, I'm
He
not
said I'm
part of
not
that
part of
culture.
that
No, no,
culture.
no.
so
What up,
what
No.
Ollie? Mama said final thoughts, justice for Nolan. She said the outrage is stronger when it's one of us killing them as well. And she ain't lying. Because had the shoe been on the other foot and it was a bunch of black boys on that boat with and one white T boy and that white T boy did came back missing, baby, it would have been a search and rescue.
and at
Okay,
the
they was
end,
all hands on deck.
yeah,
Believe
our
hundred
job is to understand who the enemy is.
yeah.
And the problem is that we look at each other and see the enemy. We have to stop seeing the enemy in the mirror and know where the true enemy is coming from. These people are praying for our destruction on Sunday mornings, being led by leaders that are saying that we are all going to hell. And we need to understand that the fight is coming and it's
Yeah.
not going to look like what we think it is. We got to get smart. We
And
got
it
to,
and
we got to,
it's gonna be some of us playing on that other side too, Rashad. Watch what
and
I
that's, look, and most of the people that are in those areas where the little dude lived and lost his life, those are going to be the people that are going to be fighting for that other side. And we got to be willing to understand that our kinfolk ain't skin folk.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
but he ain't lying. One last thing and then we're off. Mama. Pecan Brown said, and this is why we're gonna move. And this is why we move to what we think will be safer neighborhoods. Why we think. All right, there will be no live tomorrow. I have an interview I gotta do and I gotta be at the station longer than expected, but we're back on Wednesday, so make sure you lock in. Thank you, Rashad.
all right,
And
man.
you as well. This will go up on YouTube. I apologize. The videos are going up now. All right. Thank y'all.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.